It's real talk. 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 Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
And here we go on this Monday evening in the city. This is the second day of June 2025. Can you believe it? 6 months in already. Well, time is flying, man. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely, time is flying. But we're happy to have you with us on this evening. I'm back, happy to be back in the air chair tonight after a week off, and I'm fired up and ready to go, and I hope you are as well. We have a really good show for you tonight. We hope you can stick around for the hour so you can consume all of it. Just take all of it in, okay? Very, very, very good. I am your humble host. My name is Chip Washington. In case you forgot, we are back again this week, and very happy to be here on this very warm Monday. Temperatures pushing close to 90. We're actually starting to feel like summer, a little humid outside, a little warm outside. Temperatures close to 90 degrees. I think we're going to see that for the next few days before we see a little rain moving back into the forecast later on this week. But I digress. There are many ways that you can find this fine piece of radio broadcasting, and the one way that I know that never fails is tuning your radio to 91.7 on your FM dial. That would be WYXR. We're broadcasting live right now. You can also find us on the WYXR app for those of you who like to stream and do things like that. We are also available on the TuneIn app live. And we are live streaming tonight on Facebook Live. So if you don't want to listen to it by itself, you want to check it out, go to Facebook Live on my page, and you can watch the interviews happen live as well. And when the show posts in the next couple of days or so, you can find us on YouTube. And as we are a podcast, you can catch us wherever it is you get your podcast. There you go. Lots of ways to catch the show. And speaking of the show, in terms of all of that, let's break down the guest list, shall we? Well, first and foremost, in just a couple of minutes, we are going to be speaking with City Councilwoman Jerri Green. Now, Jerri hadn't been on the show in a while, but the City Council is in the midst of budget hearings, and there's a lot going on in this city, and there's a lot of things to have to deal with. There's a lot of things to have to figure out. And one thing I like about Jerri Green is that she does not mince words. There's issues that need to be addressed. She has no problem doing just that. A little bit later on, we are going to be speaking with political advocate and policy expert. Her name is Alex Hensley, and Alex has never been on this show before, but she will be tonight. We're talking about police accountability, among other things. You know, the DOJ consent decree deal is no more, right? They pulled out. And so now, who's watching who? Who is keeping folks accountable? How do we know that the Memphis Police Department is following some of the rules and structures and the suggestions that were made for better relationships between the police officers and the city? Well, Alex is going to talk a little bit about that and some other things as well. And a bit later on in the broadcast, you have all heard by now about the Central High School and what they did in New York City not too long ago. Went up there with the jazz band and slayed any competition that was up there. And I'm talking about people who came in from all over the world for this Duke Ellington Jazz Competition festival that they had in New York City a couple of weeks ago. And do you know that Central High School went up there and just took it all They took first place. They just beat everybody. So they are an enormous sense of pride for us here in the city of Memphis. I'm going to be speaking with their band director, Dr. Ollie Liddell, a little bit later on in the broadcast. So there you go. That sets the table for you as we move along on this Monday broadcast. So a new month brings forth a new slate of birthdays, and many of you, I'm sure, have had a birthday or maybe celebrating your birthday today or sometime in the month of June. You're a June baby. Well, we like to do this little thing called the shout out, in which I acknowledge you out there to your family and your friends and everybody else who knows you. Maybe if you listen to the show, you can say, hey, that Chip dude, he put us on the radio. So without further ado, let's do it when I say hit it, Bren. Happy birthday. Happy birthday is going out to the following folks. Mike Evans, radio personality at K97, V101, I'm sorry. V101, it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Mike. Also celebrating today, Naisha Brown. Happy birthday to you. Jamie McGriff, celebrating a birthday today. Taniqua Weist, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Stephanie Couch. Mike Bernard. Dylan Rochelle. Pam Clark. And Nicole Bond Jarrett, all celebrating birthdays today. I hope that it has been a wonderful day filled with fun and laughter. And you go out and get you a nice meal tonight. You know, that birthday dinner is always a special thing. From all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, we wish you a happy birthday, and we hope to be with you next year as you celebrate your next trip around the sun. Thanks, Brent. All right, let's take a look at some news and notes, shall we? Many people are disappointed in reference to the federal government shutting down the Memphis Job Corps. It has been around for a long time. It helps many young people, not only get an education, but learn a trade, learn a skill. It was paused, quote unquote, by the federal government over the weekend, the U.S. Department of Labor to be exact. This is a nationwide hold, by the way, pause for these programs all over the country. Nobody knows why. And there's no reason given, just sending the students home. They come to class and ready to learn, and they were turned around and sent home. So, yes, another casualty of the current administration. Yes, I said it. All 5 police officers, former Memphis police officers, are, of course, they were federally convicted. No guilty pleas on any of the state charges at all, or rather, no guilty verdicts on any of the state charges. These are federal cases. The date of their sentencing was given today. When 2 on the 16th of June. 2 on the 18th of June, 2 on the 16th of June, 1 on the 17th of June, and 1 on the 18th of this month. So they will be sentenced in the federal case coming up here in about 2 or 3 weeks. Dr. Michelle Taylor has been here about 3 years. Well, she's leaving as the head of the Shelby County Health Department. She is leaving to head back to Baltimore, where she went back to school and spent some time to become the new head and health commissioner. She will be the new health commissioner in Baltimore. She leaves here in August after 3 years. I hope before she does go, that the health department gives us some sort of a decision one way or another in reference to the XAI gas turbines and whether or not they are actually harmful to the citizens who live in Boxtown and over there in the southwest corner of Memphis. We've been waiting on that for a while. She's still got a couple of months. Maybe they'll have an answer between now and the time that she leaves. And sincere condolences to the Smiley family. Many of you were aware that the nephew of City Councilman J.B. Smiley, his body was found yesterday afternoon in the Wolf River after a 3-day search. He and another man jumped into the water a few days ago to rescue a child who was having some distress issues there. Well, the child was rescued. The other man that jumped in with Mr. Smiley was also able to get out of the water. Unfortunately, Thaddeus Smiley, age 31, and the nephew of Councilman J.B. Smiley, did not. He did not make it. They searched valiantly for 3 days and could not find him. Well, yesterday they found his body, and just a very, very tragic situation. So again, from all of us here, for me personally, and from all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, our deepest and sincere condolences to the Smiley family on the death of their loved one. And one final piece of news that came across this afternoon. Dr. Marie Fagans, you remember her, right? The former superintendent of the Memphis and Shelby County School District. Well, she's had a lawsuit against the school district. Well, she's amended that lawsuit and has added some things to it. One, that she would like to get the money that was owed her when they removed her from office. Her salary was some $487,000, almost $500,000. Well, they removed her with cause. Well, she wants that amended, obviously, to be able to recapture that money. And she has also filed some other amendments in reference to the fact that the school board worked on all of this in a very private way, which is not something that they're supposed to do. But apparently there were phone calls made and texts and everything, and there were secret meetings held before they came out with the announcement that they were going to remove her from her seat. And there was also an allegation, apparently, that I never knew about, but Tawana Murphy had said at one time that she accused, Dr. Fagans of having her car stolen. Apparently, Tawana's car was stolen, and I guess she feels like she has some evidence that Dr. Fagans and her quote-unquote gang had something to do with that. So that's a malicious allegation that Dr. Fagans has also brought forth in this. So again, it's not done yet. This lawsuit is still active, and it is still pending, and it has been amended. So we will wait to find out what happens with all of that. In the meantime, let us take a break and get into the broadcast. What do you say? You still have time to check us out wherever you are, whether you want to watch us on Facebook Live, whether you want to stream it, whether you want to listen to it on radio. Hey, I'm here for you for the next hour. Well, let's take a quick break, and we will come back and start the broadcast. I'm Chip. You know who you are. Let's get it. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR comes from IREM Memphis, dedicated to advancing the knowledge and professionalism of real estate managers through education, networking, and advocacy. More information at irem-memphis.org. Memphis Listening Lab proudly supports WYXR. They provide a curated collection of music and music history, a forum for music-related talks and performances, and a music education, appreciation, and experimentation space located in Crosstown Concourse. You can find out more information on their Instagram page at Memphis Listening Lab or on their website at memphislisteninglab.org.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this beautiful Monday evening in the city. Chip with you. And of course, as I alluded to at the opening, my first guest is someone who is, and I like her because she's a no nonsense. She's one tough mother, as she likes to say, and she doesn't mince words when it comes to dealing with the citizens here in Memphis as a city councilwoman. Please welcome to the show, City Councilwoman Jerri Green. Hi, my friend. How are you?
Hi, so good to see you.
It is good to be seen, and it is good to see you as well. And welcome back to the broadcast. Now, you know, this is always a busy time of year for you, right in the middle of budget season. And there's always a lot going on in reference to all of this. So what do we cut? What do we keep? The whole 9 yards. I'll just ask you as an overview, how are things going in your opinion thus far?
Well, I think we're making progress. You know, this is a really difficult budget season, but a couple of council members and myself put a big, beautiful bill, as it were, in front of the full council and the mayor last week. We're going to come back again this week and kind of dive into it, but we've got to make some cuts, as you say. We've got to boost some revenues. But I think we can get it done and get Memphis the services they need.
Mayor Young has said that this is going to be a tight budget, a very tight budget again this year. And one of the issues that was up for grabs, and I know one that you support, are pay raises for some of the city officials, in particular the police department. And it doesn't sound like from the mayor's language that he thinks that is going to happen. But am I wrong in thinking that you might feel differently and that maybe some adjustments could be made to maybe work something out?
I sure hope so, and I believe we can get there because there's really nothing more important than keeping our citizens safe. That's sort of our number one priority. You know, you show me your budget, you show me what you care about. It's a moral, living, breathing document. And I care about keeping Memphians safe. If we have a safe Memphis, then we have a more prosperous Memphis. We have Memphians who can get better education services. It all starts from that safety piece. So we've got to support our officers. We're living in one of the most dangerous cities, and they have a really tough job. I have personally been to 3 funerals of police officers since my term. I've only been here for a year and a half. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So we've got to put that money there, and I do believe that it is available if we adjust our budget in the right way.
You alluded to it. There was a statement that was made a week or so ago by the current FBI director, Kash Patel, that states that Memphis is the number one, city in homicides for the entire country, and that caught a lot of us off guard, and that he was going to send some federal task forces down here in reference to try to help. Based on what you see, based on what you know that we don't know, but generally speaking, in our community, we are seeing an uptick in violence. Even though these statistics that come out keep talking about some of the bigger categories are trending downward. What is your take on what he said, and how do we and your thought about that, and how do we fix this?
You know, there's a saying that there's lies, damn lies, and statistics. Yes. That goes for both sides, right? Yeah. Whether it's the administration or the current occupiers of the White House. Look, there's no point in beating around the bush. Crime is an issue here in our town. The murder rate is entirely too high, and it's really complex. You know, I was just reading a really interesting study that said the places that have the highest aggravated assault, which is the area that we continue to still see a rise in, or as some people say, people who are bad at murder, they also have the highest zones of food deserts. Like literally being hungry, right? If you cannot take care of your basic needs, then it can lead to other problems. Yeah. So it's such a big problem, but there's no doubt having more police out there on the grounds will help us, will assist us. And so we've got to tackle that problem. But look, if the White House wants to send us supplies and funds, that's great. If they just want to attack us and call us names, then they can stay where they are in D.C. because, you know, like I like to say, where I'm from, bullies get bullied. So we don't really need any more bad talk about Memphis here.
Yeah, I mean, it really, it puts us in a category. I mean, again, we don't want to insult our people. And one thing I say about you, you're very honest about things that are truly happening. And I wish that every politician would take that posture, because, we see what we see. And we know what we know, and we hear what we hear, and right now it's really a time for us all to get together in terms of this process. I want to talk to you a little bit about something that, and I'll be honest with you, I don't understand it. Matter is still asking for money. I mean, after all of the money and all of the news reports and all of everything we saw about the waste and the spending, and that didn't have anything to do with public transportation, but they're still asking for money. And I think I saw 30 million, but you were like, oh, no, not so fast. Talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Not fast. That's a good one. Not so fast.
Not so
Like
fast.
Corso, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, what we've said in our budget and what we said last year too was we really need some insight, especially those of us who are new on the council, into exactly what the past spend was, what bills we have, what we've still got in front of us to operate. And, I think we've removed some of the problems, but we don't have a full financial audit yet. And so our proposition right now is to fund MATA. $15 million should get them through the end of the year. And then at that point, it will have now been a year and a half since we asked for a full financial audit. They should come back to us with that, because I cannot continue to fund trips to India or, suites for the Grizzlies. That's not going to happen anymore. And I'm not writing any more blank checks. And I feel like this council feels the same way. We support public transportation. Successful cities have successful public transportation, but we got to make sure that our dollars are going what they should be going to.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I mean, if you're asking for the money, and there needs to be some reason for all of this money, and it has to go to something. You're right. There is an audit that we're waiting on as well. I don't know, Jerri. It almost seems like we're stalling. Not you guys, but we're stalling this thing. Moving along, because everything I hear, it doesn't symbolize progress necessarily for what this company is doing, but it's just like, well, we need more time to do this, we need this, and we need more time to try to buy buses. Meantime, there are people who rely on public transportation each and every day who are still not getting around the way they should.
Yeah, and I mean, it could be an amazing point for Memphis as a city for us to reimagine what public transportation looks like. We could really change the game as it relates to public transportation. I mean, you think about something like Ubers and Lyfts. If you had told you and me, I'm not going to age us, but 20 years ago, that you would call a stranger and they'd pick you up at your house and take you to the airport, you'd be like, that sounds insane. But now we do it everywhere we go, right?
Right.
And so it's the same sort of thing. We can be at a really incredible point where we can reimagine what public transportation's like, but we have to have some honest accounting first. And we've gotten some insights into operations, and we now know that 30% of the bus routes just weren't running. And they were just saying that things were being broken down, but they actually just weren't running. I need that same kind of honesty on the financial side before we continue to invest in this same old model. Otherwise, we are going to have to find something new.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk to you about, because I had a conversation with someone from the Memphis Police Association recently to talk a little bit about where things stand in terms of the number of officers that we have versus the number of people that we serve. And I was told there are at least 600 officers down as to where they should be. And reallocating resources, i.e. police officers, to certain parts of town. Now, we're in summer, Jerri, and we all know that everybody's focus turns to tourism because a lot of folks come here to our downtown area. Meantime, with that shortage, to me now, there are other areas that are in desperate need of law enforcement. I will tell you this before you answer the question. That person that I spoke with said that there are a couple of city council persons. One of them is Jerri Green, who are very outspoken about this and about how we allocate resources and how we shouldn't be forsaking one for the other. Please elaborate.
Absolutely. So my district is on the very edge of Memphis, right? So I've got South Cordova, I call it far east Memphis, right on the edge of Germantown, and some of Hickory Hill, where I grew up. And that means I have three police precincts, Appling, Ridgeway, and Mount Moriah, that serve my area. And I go out to them. And if you could see the maps of what they cover, let me give you an example. I live over here by Ridgeway High School, right? My police precinct is Appling. That's out by Wolf Chase Mall.
Oh, wow.
So you think about those officers have to cover that area.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And some of them have cars that aren't working. Some of them are waiting around on cars on shifts, because of various them being in shops, etc. So when we take officers, like you said, from these different precincts, like my three precincts that serve my area, and put them downtown, then imagine how long the wait is when there's an emergency and you need a police officer out here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we can't sacrifice the neighborhoods for downtown. It might be our front door and we do want to put our best foot forward, but we can't sacrifice. So we do need to up our numbers. That's basic math. If you look at, any of the crime statistics over the years in Memphis, the more police we have, the lower the crime rate. And I think that that's just some visibility, even just having them be available when bad things happen.
In terms of, and now, so back to the budget, in terms of that, in terms of dispensing funds, and I believe the police officers were allowing for a 5% increase in salary. I mean, isn't this a step, at least, in trying to recruit? If we're down that many from attrition and a lot of other reasons, I mean, that's a lot of officers that we're down to cover an awful lot of ground, which makes everybody a little bit nervous in reference to the fact that, well, how are we gonna how do you decide when you have, like you just said, one over here, one way out here, and you're putting all these officers down here? That really does need, I mean, in my estimation, that really does need the needs of the police officers, police department does need to be a priority, does it not?
I think so, and I think mostly just the workers in Memphis need priority. So I sat on 5 of the 6 impasse committees. That means the unions that represent various workers, and I'm talking people like animal service workers that go into hoarding situations, or the people who work in our sewer lines, like literally are in raw sewage every day. People that work out our pollution plant and their paint on their cars gets peeled away over time.
Right.
So people who have hard, dirty, strenuous jobs, just like our police officers. And the mayor's proposal in the original budget is 0%. Well, in today's inflationary environment, that means you're getting paid less. Like your dollar is worth less because the consumer price index is going to go up 2 to 3% at least this year. And so, yes, I think for recruitment and retainment, there's too many other police forces, Bartlett and TBI and THP, that can pull our officers away because they're already well trained and they can go to a less stressful environment. So if we are going to hold on to these officers and our other workers to provide really vital jobs in our community, what we're supposed to do as a city, right?
Yeah.
It's not a donation to a museum. It is not, giving away to affordable housing, which is a really incredible and important thing. But like our basic services, I got to fill up your potholes. I got to pick up your trash. I got to make your street safe. That's where we've got to invest first before we invest anywhere else, in my opinion.
City Councilwoman Jerri Green, ladies and gentlemen, always telling the truth, and she'll fight for you. There's no doubt about that, Jerri. It's always good to see you, my friend. Thank you for taking the time to come on the show tonight. We hadn't caught up in a while, so hopefully it won't be so long next time on my end.
Anytime.
Take care, my friend.
Bye.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen. That's some truth there. City Councilwoman Jerri Green, absolutely. There's a lot of needs in this city, and they're working hard to try to figure it out. And we absolutely need that. Everybody needs a raise. I don't care what you do. She's right. Everybody needs a raise. If you're out here doing the work, putting in the hard work and effort, then you need to be compensated for that. Absolutely, 100%. Thanks, Jerri. Let's take another break, and when we come back, we will continue on this ride we call Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
Programming on WYXR is brought to you by a grant from Arts Memphis, who has invested $94 million into our local arts community to teach, uplift, unite, and engage Memphians of all ages and zip codes.
Did you know you could donate your vehicle and support WYXR at the same time? We offer free pickup and it's tax deductible. Go to cars.wyxr.org to donate your car today.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
It's real talk. 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 It's real talk.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. I am Chip Washington, and glad to have you all with us. And I'm very glad to have my next guest with us as well. And she is a first-time visitor to Real Talk Memphis. You know, I've been doing this show almost 5 years now, but I'm so happy that she took some time to be with me this evening. She is Alex Hensley, and Alex is a political and policy expert. She's also a community advocate and an activist, and been involved in so much for so long. And Alex, it is great to see you. Thanks, and welcome to Real Talk Memphis.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely that. So listen, one of the reasons, and I've known about you for a while now. You've been out here. You've been on the front lines. You were during the Tyree Nichols trial and a lot of other things that have been going on. You work with Decarcerate Memphis, and many folks know what that organization is all about as well. Recently, the folks in the media caught up with you to talk a little bit about, you know, since the Department of Justice has pulled out of the consent decree business, it seems, per the current administration, the oversight in reference to our law enforcement agency, which we saw the report. It was scathing, and this is not anything new for anybody who's been around here for a while. These issues that were brought up have been long-standing issues, and I know you know that. What concerns you the most about the fact that the Department of Justice is no longer, quote-unquote, overseeing this, even though Mayor Young said he didn't want their help? What do you think?
Right. Well, you know, I think Mayor Young, to his credit, and you know, something that we thought is that this would happen anyway. You know, I think we expected this might be the case with the Trump administration. I think what's concerning is the words rescinded. You know, we don't know what they mean by that, and we don't want to give any kind of leeway in a city that has had a hard time reining in police brutality, police violence, to say that those findings were incorrect or that they are not true anymore, because like you said, we know that they are true, and we know that they have been true for a long time. So I think it's concerning politically, because that can kind of give, you know, some leeway to skirt around doing something about it. So that's something I'm concerned and cautious about.
Accountability is a big word, and it's an important word too. And in reference to this, I think one of the big issues is that now that the Department of Justice is no longer involved in any of this, I know that there's a task force that has been appointed by the mayor, and former Judge Bernice Donald is overseeing that. But how do we know, Alex, in terms of that word accountability, how do we know about the suggested changes and what needs to happen in reference to how we move forward, for example, as a law enforcement authority here? And of course, as you said, when you don't have eyes on a situation, you start to wonder if people are taking things seriously. And with this increase that I see in the crime situation in here, I don't care what anybody says, you wonder how they're going to go about dealing with these things day by day. What concerns you the most?
Yeah, that's a great question, because when we talk about accountability, I think the way that a lot of people think about that is that we tell folks in power what they're doing wrong, and we hope that they say they're going to do something about it, and we leave it at that. But real accountability is having an action plan in place that's clear, that's transparent about what we're going to do next. And so I think that's what is missing with the task force so far. I'm hopeful that will shift as we have more eyes on it. But that's what accountability looks like, is not just a task force coming together talking about the problems. We know what the problems are. We have a whole report of solutions that we need a timeline for. And so I think that is what accountability looks like, is saying we have these recommendations. What are we going to act on? What is reasonable to act on? I know it's a tight budget year, but we've got to do something about it. And so what does that timeline look like to do something about it? And when are they going to put those policy solutions forward to the community, to the city council, whatever that might look like? So I think that, those are my concerns, is that we have another task force in place. This is something that politicians love to do, is create a committee, create a task force. And often that can be a way to appear that something is happening when it's not. And so, again, I'm hopeful that things will shift, but so far we haven't seen a lot of accountability. We haven't seen a lot of plans for what the task force is actually going to do. And I know that this is also a group of folks who are equipped and who are ready to do something. And so we want to take advantage of that.
Now, having said that, and I think that's a very, very important point. And this boils down to, and you just kind of showed us, you have a lot of policy suggestions and things that your organization would like to, have a seat at the table, have a real conversation about in terms of this. Does it appear to you that, I don't know, as well-intentioned as I guess, that they are in reference to old problems and trying to find new solutions for them, that the public is involved as they should be? We've seen many examples of where, public sentiment seems to be overlooked or even ignored in some situations and circumstances. And we've all laid witness to all of that. But it sounds like, listening to what you're saying, is, we the people do have a voice in all this. We're citizens too. We live here too. And we have a stake in all of this. Do you feel at times that the public is maybe being ignored or overlooked in processes like this?
Absolutely. Yeah, I have a good friend who is on the task force, Rob Brown, who was former, justice involved, formerly incarcerated, and he's been making these kind of reports online about how they haven't allowed there to be the public at the meetings. My understanding is the last time they met, they had a more serious conversation about more community town halls. So I hope that is something that we will see. But yeah, I think it's something that we're often left out from. And so I think this is where the work of Decarcerate has been really powerful and different, is that we are owning our power in this process. And after Tyree Nichols was murdered, we said we're not going to wait on them to present solutions. We're going to draft the policies ourselves. And we did, and present them. Now, is that the way that it should be? No. These should be more public processes that involve more people, especially people who are directly impacted, so that we have, not just some kind of DOJ report of findings that they can easily write off and rescind, but that we're hearing from people who have actually been impacted, because this report was pretty limited in its scope. So there are more issues that aren't even being fully addressed here. So I definitely think we need a more public process.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I was at some of the hearings at the city council meetings when all of the Tyree Nichols, trying to change the policies and that place was packed. I mean, and I mean, all your groups and several other organizations were in there, and I mean, it was a force. It was a show of strength. It was a force of strength, and I was very proud of that of that effort. You have been around the political circles for a while. You've been worked on campaigns. You've helped folks in office and various other things like this. Next year, 2026, is going to be a huge election year in our county. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of races next year for a lot of different seats. I have often been of the opinion that if you want to create a real change, you go to the ballot box. If you don't like who's in that seat, find somebody else and put them in that seat and hold them accountable as well. We have a history here, Alex, and I know you know this very well, of folks who just won't go to the polls when it's time to do so. If you want to recall people like they talked about for the school board and a lot of other things, you have to go, and you have an opportunity to go do so. And this is really your voice, is it not? Talk a little bit about the importance of voting and why, in your opinion, don't we take it as seriously as we should?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that. And I kind of hold a unique perspective. I choose to work both in policy and on campaigns because I think we have to have this continuous engagement.
Right.
And this policy part is where we can engage people and help them understand what local government is doing in their lives and get them involved before they go to the polls. But I think that's part of the problem, is that people don't understand the power that local government holds in their lives. Affordable housing, living wages, your healthcare, your access to food, anything that touches your daily life. We talk a lot about Trump. We talk a lot about the national landscape.
Right.
But the day-to-day stuff that impacts your life, a lot of that, local government officials can make decisions on that. And so I think it's critical for people to vote in our local elections because they hold so much power. And especially in this moment where we have an administration that is pulling back funding, pulling back some of our decision-making power, or at least pulling back federal programs.
Yes.
Local government has to step in the gap, and we have a huge opportunity to do that. It's an unfortunate opportunity, but I think about environmental justice, for instance, and how he's pulling back on all of these kind of programs. There's a lot we can do on the local level to protect our air, protect our water. And so that is critically important. I would say more than ever in 2026 for us to get out and vote in our local and state elections because of we've got to own our power in our decision making locally. And so, yeah, I think as far as what that's part of it, is that people don't understand the power of local government. But we also have to give people a reason to come out and vote. And so I think politicians also need to step in and say, these are the reasons that you can vote for me. I'm not just saying we need better education, we need better jobs.
Yeah.
We all know that. We need to fight crime. We all know that. How are you going to do it?
Yeah, exactly.
And give me the plan. So I think that's what we need more of.
That is, amen to that, sister. That's absolutely it in a nutshell. I have a little time left, but I want to ask you, because you sort of brought it up a little bit. I want to ask you your take on speaking of the environment. The XAI situation that is happening and these gas turbines and whether or not they're emitting, fumes that are causing problems to our precious folks who live in the southwestern corner of Memphis. What's your take on all that?
Yeah, I think we need some policy in place to better protect our environment. As we see, it's not just XAI. We've got several data centers that are open. A second XAI. We've got, I think, a Google data center, another data center that we've heard about. And so there's a lot of attention because of the association of Elon Musk, and less attention that we're going to see nationally because of on the others, because there isn't. But I think we've got to put some things in place so that we can protect our water, because climate change is real.
It is. It is very real.
Our water is a precious source.
Yeah.
And so if we've got something just pulling on it and pulling on it and pulling on it, I'm on the chair of the groundwater board. We've got to conserve. We've got to conserve more than ever how much water we are pulling and the pollution. I think the mistake that's been made by local leaders is that we're kind of viewing this in a vacuum,
right,
as if it's in a vacuum.
Right.
But there's a lot of pollutants in that area. And so this is just one more thing that we're adding that will harm the health and safety of South Memphians. So I think, we've got to figure something out to put some better regulations in place for the future.
Alex Hensley, ladies and gentlemen. Alex, this has really been a pleasure. I have really enjoyed having this conversation with you. And don't be a stranger. Come on back and visit with us. Every now and again to kind of keep us honest as we get closer to some of the bigger things. I will be tapping on you. I will be hitting you up on social and saying, Alex, come on back. But thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you for being with us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too. Take care. Alex Hensley, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Hensley, ladies and gentlemen. She is, she's out there. She knows exactly what is happening in and around our communities. Let's take one final break. And when we come back, salute to the champs. That will be the Central High School on the Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Want to reach a passionate audience who loves Memphis's arts and music scene? Sponsor WYXR and connect your brand with the city's creative community. More information at wyxr.org/sponsorship.
Support for WYXR comes from Rootstock Wine Merchants. Located at 644 Madison in the Edge District, Rootstock is committed to bringing Memphis wines from small, independent producers with minimal intervention. More information on Rootstock's full selection of wine, beer, and spirits and online ordering available at rootstockmemphis.com.
Support for WYXR comes from Mempho Presents, featuring the Outlaw Tour 10th Anniversary Show at Radiance Amphitheater on Friday, June 27th, featuring Willie Nelson and Family, Bob Dylan, Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and Trampled by Turtles. Tickets and more information at memphopresents.com. Want to make a big impact without getting lost in a big system? Join youth villages to be a force for families while becoming part of one. Help make positive changes on a national scale, one community at a time. It takes a family to transform lives. Start with yours. You can apply at youthvillages.org/careers.
Support from WYXR comes from Sunset Jazz at Court Square, a free, family-friendly concert series presented by Just Jazzin', Downtown Memphis and City of Memphis. Held every second Sunday from May through October, this annual event brings the smooth sounds of Memphis jazz to the heart of downtown at 62 North Main Street. Each show spotlights local talent in a wide range of styles, from straight ahead to swing. More information can be found at sunsetjazzmemphis.com.
Support for WYXR comes from the Halloran Center for Performing Arts and Education, setting the stage for everyone. The Halloran Center, next door to the Orpheum, invites you to be in the center of it all through live entertainment, arts education, community programs, and event spaces all year round. More information at orpheum-memphis.com.
Support for WYXR comes from Breezert, presenting the Concrete Canvas Streetwear Fashion Show, hosted by Breeze on Sunday, June 22nd, from 6 to 10 p.m. at Mud Island River Park. An immersive fashion experience blending streetwear and high fashion, highlighting emerging designers, artists, and performers in partnership with Memphis River Parks. Live performances, vendors, and more. Tickets and more information can be found at breezert.square.site.
Want to make a big impact without getting lost in a big system? Join Youth Villages to be a force for families while becoming part of one. Help make positive changes on a national scale, one community at a time. It takes a family to transform lives. Start with yours. You can apply at youthvillages.org/careers.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening in the city. It's been a great show so far. Chip with you, and glad you're with me. We are eagerly awaiting Dr. Ollie Liddell, who was supposed to be checking in with me. Checked in with him earlier. He said he was all good to go and everything. Dr. Ollie Liddell, by the way, is the band director at the Central High School. And in case you've been under a rock for the last couple of weeks, he took his band of jazz impresarios up to New York State. In New York City, they have a big, huge competition every year. National competition is the Duke Ellington competition, and they bring in bands, jazz bands from all over the country and even outside of this country for this competition. It is that big a deal. Is he there? He's there. So we're going to bring him in right now and talk with him about all of this. And I have to set up my intro all over again. Dr. Liddell, how are you, my friend?
Hey, brother, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Listen, thank you for chiming in this evening, and thank you for giving me a few minutes of time to be the 147th person to congratulate you and your soldiers on an absolutely magnificent event in New York City, the Duke Ellington Jazz Band Competition. An international competition, by the way, which you all went up there and you won first place. You slayed everybody and you came back with the crown. Has it sunk in yet? It's been a couple of weeks. I guess it's sinking in, or has it sunk in yet?
Yeah, it's sunk in. It was a special day. It was a special moment for my kids, for the city. It was really a special performance, man.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, you have. This performance and this victory has really lifted our city. We can't even see us anymore. We're so high up because of what you all did. A lot of hard work and effort went into that, Dr. Liddell. How long before the competition did you all start working on all of this?
Honestly, it was around May of last year. We picked out. I had the kids pick out a song. I just gave them the list. So how the competition works, they have a library. Essentially, Ellington has a whole library of songs that they put out. These are mostly Duke Ellington compositions or like Duke Ellington like compositions. So that's why it's called essentially Ellington.
Okay.
And so they have guys that transcribe those, and this is the exact versions that these professional bands play. And I just had my kids for about 2 days in class on YouTube, just listen to every song on there and just give me a list of what they wanted to play. Mm-hmm. And obviously I screened the list, to make sure there's some things that, kids are like, yeah, let's play that.
Sure.
No, that ain't gonna work for our group. Mm-hmm. So that's when it started. We had a jazz camp, and we're gonna have one again right before school starts, just to get them the new folks in the jazz band going. We started on one tune. And then we added a couple more. just other stuff that we play and different things.
Right.
Then they come out with their new list, and you have to play one on the new list every year that they came out with. And so we picked that one, started working it up in October or September, and then by December we have to submit the recording of us playing these 3 tunes. And then from that, there's like 130 bands from around the world that submitted, because it's tough music. Most folks don't even attempt the songs that's on those lists. And we submitted, and they named the top 30 of those got in. This is double. This is a bigger year. Most years it's not international. It's the United States plus Canada are the groups that are involved in it.
Right.
But this year and 2020, those were years they opened it up for international groups. So there was bands from Spain and Australia and Japan, all over the country. They were there. Then we had same thing, man. We just worked on those songs, we had other stuff that we had to work on too. We can't focus everything on this one competition.
Right.
Because it's more to being a jazz band and just playing Duke Ellington music. However, his music is so vast and styles and different things. So it's a great teaching tool to teach kids how to play this music. But we play other stuff. We prepared for we made it. They accepted us in New York, so we had to get ready to go. So there's a lot of after school rehearsals, a lot of listening and
a lot of work. A lot of work, right? A lot of work.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, obviously you're dealing with young people too, and but I mean, I'm just so. I guess what really makes me proud is the dedication and the focus on this competition, because you have to be serious about things. I mean, like you said, this is a serious deal, man. This is not, you don't just come up there and just this is not just a joke. This is real competition from places all across the globe who came there for that competition. Did you have any idea before when it was all done and before the selection of the champion was made, how you all did based on what you heard from other bands from other places?
Man, I had no expectations of winning anything. And I just wanted us to perform our best, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted us to leave it all on that stage. We had a preliminary and a final. I just wanted us to leave it on that stage and swing, have fun. When you're playing music, it has to be beyond the notes on the page. It has to be beyond just press this finger down. Now, man, you got to actually feel it, the emotion. That's what music's all about, right? Mm-hmm. And the response, I mean, like, we were like celebrities walking, after we got done playing.
I'm sure, yeah.
The high schools were like, oh my God, you Memphis, y'all folks from Memphis, man, y'all were so good. And the little Japanese girl come up, she could barely, oh, you were very good,
Oh,
we
man.
were like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And it still didn't, it didn't register to me. I was like, I don't know, I didn't care either. I honestly did not care what happened.
Right.
I cared that, and I told the kids, man, I don't care what happens. Y'all go out there and just play y'all best and really feel this music and swing, man. And it took care of itself. The work and that took care of itself, and we came out on top.
Well, I'm just so tickled, like everybody else is, about this for our city. They can talk about us all they want to, but one word they're gonna have to use from now on in terms of music from the jazz perspective is champions. And you are the Central High School jazz champions. And man, awesome. Kudos. Congratulations. I know you've done a lot of interviews, and I know a lot of people have talked to you. I had to get my shot in here as well, and for my audience and for my show. And man, please pass along to your young folks, man, that we are just absolutely elated, and we are so proud of them, of Central High School, and of you, Dr. Liddell. And this may be the first, but I don't think it's going to be the last. But thank you for taking the time to come on and be with me tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And hey, we're going to try to do this thing again next year. And if you have a child that needs a place to call high school home, you're going to get a world-class music education here at the high school, Central High School. So just hit me up, and and you might be on that trip to New York next year.
Dr. Liddell said, hit him up. He's ready for you. He got a spot for you. Thank you, Dr. Liddell. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, that's how you end the show. I'm sorry, I got a little net flying around in here on me. But that wraps up this edition of Real Talk Memphis. And we hope that you, as Bryn plays us out and prepares for his show, by the way. Did you know Bryn had a show? Bryn's got this show, comes on 7 o'clock on Monday evenings. It's called Event Horizon. That's the coolest name of a show, too, by the way. That's my guy. He always says, thanks, Tip, for pumping me up. Now, I don't have to thank me for that. Bryn is my board producer on this show, and he's doing a really good job. He's got a very musical selection. He's got a very musical catalog, and he'll tell us in just a couple of minutes what he's going to do tonight for us. But listen, for all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, for Bryn, who will be up in just about a minute, and for lovely Lola, and for yours truly, Chip. Thank you for being a part of Real Talk Memphis. We hope to have you along for the ride again next week. So for all of us here, thank you. We appreciate your support and your love, and we are out. Talk to you soon.